Welcome to the audio ministry of Nandir Williams. She is a speaker, author, psalmist, and coach. As you listen, be inspired, motivated, and challenged.
Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to Treasures for Living. Today I have with me Snatcha, and he is a
what up guy.
Okay, not just
What's up guy?
Okay, he's a music artist, he's a gospel artist, he's a creative,
import and export ideas.
Okay, and then he's passionate about sharing the gospel, reaching young people.
And it's also passionate about jollof rice.
Okay. So our topic is entanglement. So entanglement. So what is it? How can I don't say men avoid it? How come? Okay, let's talk about single people. Okay. How can young people avoid entanglements? You know, when we're talking about entanglements, we're talking about, you understand what I'm saying? Yes.
People get into entanglements because they're broken and they're looking for some sort of comfort or succor, or some people that are just like, you know what, I just feel like just having a fling and all that. But the issue is you don't consider the other person. Sometimes when two people have an agreement that, you know what, this is just going to be a one night stand, it's just going to be a fling, it's just going to be booty calls. At a point in time, one person falls in love or steps out of that agreement and is beginning to catching feelings.
Okay.
So that's when the entanglement is. So it's entangled and you want to break away, but there's no way you can break away without hurting the other person. So that's where the issue comes.
Okay.
Well, every the thing is issues filled with issues though, but
exactly.
But that's when it now becomes sour.
Okay. So this whole thing about entanglements. Okay. So how can let me bring scripture, Psalm 119, where David says, how can a young man keep his way pure?
By studying the word.
Yes. But so practically by studying the word, but some practical examples of how to keep yourself pure, like as a young person. Because nowadays, even when I go on Instagram, I just see some, how shall I say, I'm trying to use
Instagram is nice. Snapchat is the worst.
I've seen some things on Instagram. I've seen, I cannot discuss them here. I will choose not to talk. I've seen extreme pictures that I want to leave comments on. Some of them I want to ask them, where are your parents? And
some of them I want to screenshot and keep, and so that I can stare at them. It's just true.
Okay.
Come on.
But obviously
somebody.
That's not allowed. Yeah, because at the end of the day, how can let's first start with single people. You say a young person, a young man, let's say 18, 19, 20, 23, whatever. How can they keep themselves pure?
The thing is, you're a product of your focus. What you listen to continuously, or what you gaze your eyes upon continuously, you believe. What you believe, you perform. So that's why the Bible says that I will stand on my word to see what he will say to me. How do you see it? By studying the word. So that picture in which because we have the power of imagination. So that picture which you place before you is what you will produce constantly. So you cannot think you will have a victorious Christian life or life at all if that is what you're focusing on 24/7. And when I say, often, that's what you see often. So the amount of feeding that you feed yourself, basically, if you keep feeding with those things, those pictures, that is what you will produce. So you find it hard to disengage from that, because that's the picture that is in your head, even when you're in God's presence, so to speak, because you look at it. How long do you spend on your YouTube version Bible app compared to how long you spend on Instagram? So you're feeding with yourself. When you're done with Instagram, then you watch Netflix. You watch all those other movies.
Netflix. Even simple comedies now. Just start. They say this is 15, this and this and this, and call all the names of all the bad things in this world that you just think, oh my God, how am I going to watch this film successfully to the end? I mean, do you know, sometimes when I just take, I literally turn to the television and I want to watch TV and I think I can't be bothered to cast out any square words or bind anything. I just go and watch cartoons. cartoons, like children's movies, so that from the beginning to the end, I don't have to put any shin guards up. I don't have to have the remote control. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So what you said in essence is part of the ways that people can keep themselves pure is what you watch.
What you watch.
What you watch, what you see.
What you see, what you listen to.
Would you say that in your own estimation, I know you're not a woman, but in your own estimation, do you think men are more visual than women are?
In my estimation.
Would you say so?
I would say so.
Okay.
I would say so, and because also that's why society begins to bake men with things like that. And women, yes, they will say, yes, I'm dressing for myself to make myself feel good and all of that, and all of that. But the way, but the thing is, yes, I mean, I definitely believe that. Yeah, we should focus on men. You need to work on it. Work on, must you look, but it's hard not to. Yeah, really.
Okay. So when you're talking about looking, you're talking about your eyes. So they talk about your eyes gate, your ear gate, and all those things. That they're all windows to your soul. And in Psalm 101, David says, he will keep no wicked thing before his eyes. So obviously I can't be going. I mean, even me, a woman that I'm driving my car down the road, I see some really, really short skirts, and I nice. Look and I'm like, okay, I don't say nice. I just look at them. I think okay, and then sometimes I see like some, excessive things moving up and down on the streets, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, and I'm just thinking, and that's every day, like. How do you cope with that amount of bombardment? So you have your Instagram, you have Snapchat. I don't know if they do it on Snapchat or whatever.
Snapchat is worse.
Okay, Snapchat. Then you have the television. You have the songs that they're singing. You have the road you are driving on. It's summer. In England, how people wear, they're almost naked. Like,
I think the issue.
How do you keep yourself?
You keep yourself. I mean, for instance, there's some people that are just really weirdos, where that even if you are wearing an hijab, they will still look.
Yes.
There's problem with that.
But you know that those people have extreme issues, like.
Yeah, but it still goes back to when you keep your heart pure. There's a story of a monk who was going with an apprentice monk, and they were going to worship, and they went on the way somewhere. They got to where they needed to cross like a flood, a mini river, and they saw a prostitute dressing very scantily, and the assistant apprentice monk was looking at the monk that was wrong with this one, and the monk
was he looking at the monk or looking at the lady?
He was looking at the lady. Like, what's she gonna do? And the lady walked to the monk to say. And the monk walked to the lady, and the person was looking at the lady, the monk, like, are you okay? Was. And so the monk said to the lady, what's the problem, my dear? He said, I want to cross, but because of what I'm wearing, I don't want my clothes to be. So he said, okay, come on my back, I will carry you over. So the monk and the assistant monk were like, yeah, what's this man of God trying to do? So the man carried the girl across the river. Then they went, and the monk apprentice monk was still thinking, I need to call out this man. This is wrong. How could he? Blah, blah, blah. And he was just thinking about it. They went, they prayed, they meditated. And it was like, no. I need to call out this man.
I'm sure he wasn't meditating. He was thinking about what you...
When they got back home, the president was like, I have to say this. Sir, what you did was totally wrong. Everything you taught us, you went against it. Blah, 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 blah. And the monk said to him, I carried that woman from one bank of the river to the other side of the river. You have been carrying her since from there till we got back home. She has been in your mind since. So that shows the story is basically they are both seeing the same thing and all that. One has kept his mind pure, even though the image is still before him. He had renewed his mind. He was seeing someone in need. He helped her across, but the other one is seeing, everything exposed, everything we're not. So sometimes when we overdo this, look at this one, look at how we're dressing. I notice that most of the time I'm like, look at all these girls, how they dressing, showing everything. The more I'm watching, I'm the picture is there, it's staying in my head because I'm judging, analyzing, but still looking.
Exactly.
And later I'm like, that picture is still there.
Exactly.
So we, in the words of Nigerian Twitter, we form onlooking. Just look front. Onlooking. Keep
looking straight. Okay, so back to that Psalm 101. So this whole thing about looking. So now we've talked about single people. What about married people? How can married people? Because, this whole thing, people have side chick, they have toy boy, they have girlfriends, they have sugar daddies, sugar mummies, financial dominatrix, which you are the one that told me about.
That's a nice one.
financial dominatrix, and all the rest. So there's all of this going on.
Yeah.
Like, so as a married person, let's not even say woman or man, let's just say as a married person, what is the one thing that we say is a foundation to deliver someone from being entangled? We know when we're talking about entanglement, they've given us a new word on the internet. So I don't want to call
I think one major mistake
as a married person, what would you say?
One major mistake married people make, at least for me as a married person, there was a point in my life where I said, because I do not want to sin against God, I liked where we are relationship wise, I would not fornicate. But then I slid into masturbation, and mine was a mental thing. I just imagine it.
Okay.
So I feel at least I'm not hurting anybody and all of that, and
nobody even knows about
or then now got into sexting.
In fact, that you've given me another topic to even visit, self. Okay, no problem.
I thought, I'm sexting, so I'm not doing anything wrong and all of that. But I felt that if I get married, if I find someone that I'm in love with, all these things will stop. So I found someone that I was in love with, crazy about, and I thought it was going to stop, but it didn't. So the issue is,
when you saying that while you were married to that person, you still did some things that were wrong?
Yeah. I had to come to say, look, she didn't even know. I had to come and say, I think I have a problem.
Oh.
And this is the problem. Sometimes I just go out of my way to start those conversations and all of that. And I have tried. I've fought myself. I've prayed about it and all of that. So part of it, you told your spouse. Yes, I had to, because the issue is, I was more concerned about my relationship with God. It wasn't just about not hurting
being
her.
Afraid of her,
being caught or not hurting her. Yeah. It was more,
or maybe you'll be found out and then be disgraced.
But it was more of my relationship, because the truth of it, I had no desire to hook up with these people and do anything. But I just enjoyed it. I'd formed that habit, and I had to break it. And one thing is that one sin that you do not disgrace now will disgrace you in the future.
That one is
so, and I know that
it is definite.
Yeah, I know that there's a place I want God, that I know God is taking me to. I don't want to get there and mess up. It will be huge, because it will still stick. So I need help with this area, and I need you to help me.
So you made yourself accountable.
Yes,
you made yourself accountable.
To her.
Okay, to
this
your
is my
spouse.
phone. This is my password. This is my business. And if I go out and I see somebody that I like, I'll come and tell you that. I'm liking that one, but I know this is why. And
there's some people.
Sometimes you get upset about it, and like but you need to understand me. This is how I need to. So when I know that with the shame, I have to come and tell you.
So you had a high level of accountability to your spouse.
Yes, because I'm not a fan of accountability per se, in the sense that sometimes I use it as this guy is my accountability partner. So, because I tried to call him when I was about to sin and he didn't pick the phone, so where is his fault? Because I need her to check me.
Okay, yeah.
So I had to.
Okay, so in talking about accountability, I'm looking at the time, 30 minutes. In talking about accountability,
okay,
I think that's very important.
Yes.
Very, very important. So I have friends that I'm very, very close to. And I think I have a friend I can give my heart to and go to sleep and come back and the heart will be intact. She won't have punctured it or anything like that. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I do have a friend like that. So, yeah. So, those my friends are people that we have conversations about everything. So I remember one time one guy was calling me at work and he was talking with very slow, nice, soft voice and speaking and talking and then, you know how someone is talking to you about work, but it's not talking. He's describing a paper, but it's not that paper that he's describing. I had to go. I had to call one of my friends and literally speak to her about everything. And it was a discussion that was had, and we talked about everything. Now, I think that with accountability, you said you had a problem with accountability, but at least you said you are accountable to your spouse. When a man is not accountable, as in once you have a man that is not accountable and you are married, I think that is a big problem. I think it's a big problem. If he's not accountable to, at least there should be one person that a man should be accountable. At least one person. And a woman. No, and a woman. No, and a woman. Yeah, as a couple.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah. So that when, you have difficult times, you should be able to go to that person. You should be accountable to each other, but also have somebody. Okay, now, you said you told your wife. So you were open.
Yeah.
You okay. So, how would you keep yourself? How would you constantly keep yourself from sinning?
From sinning?
Yes. How do you? No, I don't think anyone can do it.
I think God keeps us from sinning.
Yes, exactly.
The Bible says that He's the one who is keeping us from stumbling and all that. But I think from what you're trying to say, basically, I think the closer. Okay, there's just about a friend of ours who was having relations. He's married, but he has other side chicks, and also all sorts of mess. And people were talking all over people. I said, look, I'm not doing it not because I'm better than him.
Exactly.
Not because if I'm put in that situation, it might not happen. But the thing is, I think I'm guarding my relationship with God so much. And the more I try to spend with him, so everything still basically depends on, when the Bible says that be holy, be holy simply means be separate, be different. And being different, being separate is like, look, this is how the world wants to do it. I want to cut out of that and do it another way, which is the way of the kingdom. The more I spend with God, the more we hang out, the more I will not...
The more sin becomes foreign to you. So
we reckon ourselves dead every day. When Paul said this is like this. When we go out to say the altar prayer, altar call, when we go to do that altar call thing.
Yes, I'm laughing at you.
What we're doing is basically saying we're divorcing sin.
And we're getting married to Jesus.
Yeah, and we're married to Jesus. But the issue is that doesn't help. Because Paul said, except one of you dies, you are still married. If you divorce your spouse, but he was really talking about the relationship with sin and all that. He said until one person dies. So you have said the sinner's prayer. What happened is you have divorced sin, but you are still married to sin because you're still alive to sin. You need to start dying daily until you're completely dead to sin. Your ego, your whatever, everything needs to start to die. So until we get to that point where we die, and it's a daily thing. So once we are working towards that, there's no time to be...
No.
There's no time.
So with regards to, you said there's something you mentioned at the beginning which I want to touch on. That is you said hurting people hurt people. I think that's what you said at the beginning. I think, or you said it on the live. Hurt people, yes. So that
once you're hurt,
yes. So when a marriage is suffering, I tend to think that those are times and seasons when not that those are the only times, but those are probably times and seasons when people are vulnerable. Or when this person has hurt that person, because we've heard of stories where one person hurt the other person and the other hurt the person, quite known people, and then they just went and everybody went and did their own thing. And where is the place of grace, forgiveness, and and humility in all of that? Where's the place?
Well, first of all, in my experience, my wife and I had an agreement. We don't go to bed without solving the issue. It didn't work well for me because sometimes it's 2 a.m. in the morning. She's waking me up. Okay, we've not finished. And we squash it. So we never really had any issue that lasted 48 hours. Never. So, but the thing is also, I'm a man that has been shown many mercy. So I freely give. I freely show. I don't judge people. I don't. I might say this is what I feel, but I'm in love. So, and I think mercy, it always starts from mercy.
So we need to extend
We
grace.
need to. Because if we don't extend mercy and grace in time of need, when it's our own time, when we need it the most, we will not find it. So, and we also have to understand, because when we don't do like, oh, you scored one on me, I have to get you back. So it's not about counting scores. And because sometimes some things happen, I feel like I've been cheated in this thing because, but I decided, you know what, let me be the one to say sorry. And she realizing that it was her fault, but I'm the one saying sorry. Then comes back and you know what?
That's how we let Christ into those places.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So sometimes she says sorry, even though, and it's the same thing. So we're not trying to win one over the other and all that. So that's the issue. Always trying not to get back at each other and understand that, look, we're on the same team here. And I say that all the time. We're on the same team here. So we need to sort it out like we're on the same team.
Okay.
And let that be. And mercy, and also for us personally, when we seek mercy and grace from God, mercy and grace, God does not expect us to run our lives based on mercy all the time. He expects that we get to a point whereby the things that we're constantly seeking mercy for, we're past it. We're grown up. And then we're already, so he can go to bed to say, okay, they're cool there. So you can now enter into higher things. Because when God said, to my own opinion, when God said, my ways, we say this a lot, my ways are not your ways and my thoughts are not your thoughts. God is not saying, I think so far away from you. He's trying to say, come, let us think on the same level. Because when Adam said, that's a goat, God said to see what he will call them, because God already knew what their names were. He wanted to say, are we thinking alike? So when he said that's goat, God was like, we're thinking the same thing. And that's the level.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So Paul says, that when he was a child, he thought like a child. When he became a man, he put childish things away. So you're saying that we need to mature in our relationship so that we don't give the enemy room to afflict us.
Yes.
So the Bible says that where the hedge is broken, a serpent will bite. Okay. So yes, this has been very interesting. Has been really interesting, and I really appreciated your honesty and your openness. Not many people will be that open and just talk like that. So it's been really great having you on Treasures for Living, and I'm sure you're going to be back again
to collect more treasures.
Okay. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Okay, everyone. That was Snatcha sharing with us on the topic entanglements.
Thank you for listening to this message. We trust that you've been blessed, encouraged, and transformed to go out and make a difference.